out in Mahoning County, where he was the valedictorian of his high school class. He then attended and wrestled at John Carroll University, graduated with a bachelor degree in biology in 2019. After college, Nick made the smart move to pursue his interests in firefighting and EMS. He attended the Tri-C Fire Academy in 2020 and completed his paramedic training through university hospitals. Nick currently works as a paramedic at the UH facility in Lakewood in their emergency department, and recently moved to Berea with his new fiancee, Paige. It's so new, I was going to ask if they set a date, but I don't think that they have yet. When? May 18th.
Hey.
We're all invited.
Nice of you to extend the invitation letter.
Oh, that was quick. So, Nick Ticketin. Mitch Ticketin, sorry. That was
Okay. Mayor?
You gotta call the roll.
Anna, please call roll.
Mary. Bielski.
Yes.
Klein. Vincent.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes.
Kurland.
Yes.
You ready? This. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village,
the rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village,
and that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge my duties as a part-time firefighter paramedic
discharge my duties as a part-time firefighter paramedic
of Orange Village, State of Ohio, during my continuance in said office. Official, congratulations, welcome aboard. Where's your hat? Okay. Oh, wait, I need you to sign something.
I have one here for you.
I have one.
I don't know what you did.
It's like, yeah, but it's annoying, I didn't move.
Congrats, man. Welcome.
Congratulations, welcome to Orange Village.
Congratulations, thanks for your service.
Congratulations.
My hands are ice cold.
Is your airdrop on? Can I airdrop them to you, the photos? I can airdrop them to Ryan, his phone.
What do you got?
You came up in my airdrop.
Oh.
I'll send the pictures. Damn. That's all right, I'll email him.
Say that every time. I don't think anyone has ever framed one.
Count again.
We didn't know you were left-handed.
Where's Brandon this evening?
Been different if I knew he was up there.
What is she doing?
We can take one. No?
You can take one.
You need to frame that.
I have to put my pen on.
It was like a notepad.
You're not official? Guess I'm not either.
The calendar to May.
I would like to make a motion to approve the amended council meeting minutes of April 12, 2023. Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any corrections or changes?
We're amended.
Mary. Yes. Bielski.
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Vincent.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes.
Kurland.
Yes. Okay. I would like to make a motion to authorize the mayor to enter into an agreement with Bialaski and Partners Architects LLC, doing business as Bialaski Cleveland, to perform professional design services for renovations and additions to the Village Hall at a cost not to exceed $48,500. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you.
Jack Biloski and Paul Deutsch. These are the principals of the firm that we have submitted for your approval. So they're here if you have any questions.
I just have a quick question. How did,
They also did our service facility and recently came off of the Pepper Pike renovation in the police department, service department.
is this something we had to solicit bids for and you chose?
Explain to her why.
No, that they, we have adopted under our charter authority an ordinance that allows council to determine the qualifications of an architect firm to determine whether or not they're sufficient. The mayor has recommended this group because they are very good at municipal facilities, having done Orange Villages and Pepper Pikes in recent.
Call roll.
Perry,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Kurland.
Yes.
See, Judge, you didn't even have to sell them.
Oh, you sold them.
You did the sales.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
And good luck.
That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, next up for discussion of the designated outdoor refreshment area, also known as Adora for Pinecrest, and Rob Clark is here. Hopefully he'll explain what this is, how they're gonna do this for everybody.
Good, thanks for your email last week.
Makes sense, everybody else is doing it. That makes it more entertaining.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Thanks.
Actually less complicated than that, a lot of pages.
Thank you. Appreciate your time this evening. We've had some conversation. Yes.
Introduce who, just tell everybody who you are.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Do we need?
I went,
Raise it up.
raise the mic.
All right. I can see that. Okay. A little better? All right. So, sorry. My name's Rob Clark. I'm the general manager of Pinecrest. And good to meet you. Had the opportunity to meet several of you over the years, so appreciate your time tonight and this open discussion on a proposed DORA program for Pinecrest. This is I think you're all familiar with it. It's a designated outdoor refreshment area. We have other developments in our area, municipalities in our area that have enacted this, and I think we started this conversation about 6 weeks or so ago. I think it was, members of council approached the mayor, who approached Adam Fishman, so ultimately it comes to Rob and I get to write the document. So with the help of Mike Roberts, we did a bunch of research. I was familiar with the program from my former days when I worked at the Flats East Bank, where we actually wrote same type of documents, submitted it, but at that time, we decided to kind of pause things just because of how the development was acting at the time. So I do have familiarity with it and how to implement it, steps, things like that. So what we did then in structuring what you see in front of you, it's a pretty clean template that you'll see Mike and I utilize from different municipalities like Dublin, Ohio, Troy, various areas. So it's all pretty consistent. There's a table of contents, kind of walks you through the introduction, the description as to why we want to do this, shows the proposed boundaries, nature, types of businesses that are within the boundaries of the DORA, qualified permit holders, so that's a listing of any of our venues that currently have a liquor permit that's going to be inside the DORA boundary, a land use and zoning map. I included in here the most recent one that shows Pinecrest as a development, safety plan, sanitation plan, signage plan. Those are all enumerated in here as to how we will conduct it, the business, manage this throughout whenever it's into place. And then it's got all the various exhibits. So the boundary map, zoning map, public safety, examples of signage, the official DORA cup, sanitation plan. So what's nice about Pinecrest, if you could turn to Exhibit A, which is page 7, this defines the boundaries, and we've kept it to a very concise area so that it travels from our South District, which is Verizon and REI, to the North District where the Great Lawn is, and you can see all the entrance points off of 3rd Street, 2nd Street, and how we define it. And what's nice is that we have venues throughout the entire district that do serve alcohol, including Saucy Brew, who is on the corner of 3rd and Park underneath residential. And so that kind of defines the area. It's a very workable, controlled, common area. What's lays out nicely in this is that, let's see, if you turn over to page 11, which is the last page, it shows the sanitation plan, signage plan. So everything marked in red, those are existing trash cans. Everything in blue are existing trash cans that will have signage on them. So again, DORA requires you to define your boundaries. It defined where you should have signage so that any of the exit points from this common area boundary leads into either parking lot, parking garage, or outside the boundary. That's where all the signage will go. And we provided examples of the signage on Exhibit D. So the first item that shows signage, labeled as signage, it's got our hours on there. That's what you would see on the trash cans and anywhere else that we think we might need to install it. Examples of the DORA cup, so it'll have our name on it. It's got all of our rules, regulations on one side of it. We put a QR on it, which we will probably make a little bit larger so you can just click that. It'll tell you who participates. It'll tell you about your boundaries, tell you about your rules and regulations. In the end, we've got the signage for our venues who will welcome DORA and who are not, it's not permitted. And we took a straw poll of our, all of our venues that offer alcohol service, and everybody was very embracive of this idea. In fact, Kitchen Social loves it because they have a location in Dublin, which has the DORA program. They actually have a to-go window so that you can, yes, in Dublin, Ohio, so you actually can walk up to their to-go window, order a beverage, and move about the property, go to an event, whatever that you're doing there. But again, we've got the appropriate signage that will go to the different venues so that we can monitor where you're going with the alcohol and what's permitted and what isn't.
Signs here, is that just for a business that, a clothing store that doesn't want people to have drinks in their stores?
Correct.
Okay.
And the idea is we really shouldn't be going into any of the clothing stores, anybody like, just basic retail. They really shouldn't be going in there. There may also be like a restaurant that says we don't want to participate in it. We do have one that indicated we're kind of lukewarm to this, and that's their prerogative. And if they elect not to participate, then we'll make sure it's signed appropriately so that customers know. But again, it's part of the balance of managing this will be with the venues because, as guests come in, if they have a DORA cup, they're going to need to dispose of it prior to coming in. Yes, Mayor?
What are the cups, what kind of cups are these, paper?
No, there'll be like a clear plastic Solo cup.
And also, do you have any others of these?
Copies? I have these two I can leave with you.
Chief and the fire assistant chief set? Thank you.
Rob, was there a reason that the outdoor area in front of First Watch and the outdoor eating areas by Bibby Bop were left off of the DORA?
Yes, we felt in managing the program, once you get past that South District there by Verizon and REI, the parking lot opens up. It's not real conducive then to managing where people are walking with beverages. We felt that Whole Foods lot was enormous, and even though Whole Foods does serve alcohol. We had even contemplated including them. Mike and I sat and talked about it at length, and we're like, okay, so how do we manage customers that are going in there, coming out? We think it became an administrative nightmare. We think it's better to be,
Businesses come back to you and said, we really want to be part of this? or
no.
No.
And that's the same thing with BB Bop. BB Bop kind of sits, again, separate, because you have to go across the road there. And again, there's too many exit points, and we found that's just too complicated to try and control them.
Keep it in a contained area.
Exactly. That's the best way to manage this program, is to keep it as confined as possible, in very defined areas, so that these are all natural exit and egress points to the property, coming in from the parking lot or the garage. There's trash cans in all of those locations. Signage will be there. And that way, as we administer the program, if we see customers going out to the car with it, it's easy for security to approach them and say, time out, you can't do that, you need to dispose of this. And we make sure it gets disposed of.
Is there gonna be like Kitchen Social you mentioned has like an outdoor, like kind of a walk-up area where you can go buy a drink? And
They do in Dublin.
okay,
They do not here.
they have like somewhere easily where they could like kind of drop it. But the other restaurant, I mean, what other restaurants in there they're gonna have to kind of come up with their own setup for kind of just a place to buy a quick drink only, or do they envision like people coming in and then leaving with a drink and walking around that way?
The intent of this is dwell time. The longer we can keep our customers on property, we know what that means for business. We look at our research. We have Alexander Babbage doing research for us. We've got statistics, and compared to national averages, benchmarks with outdoor lifestyle centers such as Pinecrest, our dwell time is a little bit less than the national average. So we are looking at different programs. This is one of them. How do you extend the dwell time? Because then that becomes a residual benefit for our businesses. So the focus of this, really intent-wise, is to be able to have a beverage. You text me and say, hey, Rob, we're over by Condado, you want to come join us? And if I just sat down, I can have it put into a to-go cup. I can walk out and come join you. We're also looking at this summer, we're going to have some musical programs on Friday and Saturdays, starting at 4 o'clock, where we'll have, maybe some acoustical guitars, things like that type of formats. We're not heavy bands or anything like that, but they'll start at 4 and they'll end at 7. So then again, you can enhance the dwell time, entice a customer to come, they've got some entertainment, they can get a bite to eat, they can come out, have a beverage. If some of our venues then start offering a service window, such as what Kitchen Social did in Dublin, then that's a benefit then, as you have customers sitting on the lawn.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
Are the cups recyclable and/or reusable?
They're not reusable. Could, but it's a plastic clear Solo cup, and yes, they are recyclable.
So if somebody finishes their drink, they can't even take the empty cup for next time, or
No.
it's use and get rid of?
Exactly.
And then you mentioned the music. Is that going to be piped in throughout the whole place, or is there a certain area where people are going to be sitting and listening to the music?
That would just be at the Great Lawn. So our intentions is to have a stage set where the holiday tree is, and allow, some small groups to come and perform there on Fridays and Saturday afternoon, evenings.
Small technical question here.
Yes.
People tend to sit on the steps,
Sure.
and you've sort of outlined the area that's at the base of the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you want to at least include a couple levels of the steps in that area so that somebody could sit on the steps with a drink?
There's going to be some latitude there, but we want to make sure that we've got a defined footprint in place, so that if anybody gets abusive with it, egregious, we have something that we can then come back and manage too.
What do you have to do for staffing or like security or, in terms of security changes or staffing changes to help kind of manage the
So we have existing, as you know, we have off-duty police officers that provide our security for us. So as we move through the months, depending upon time of day, which month it is, things like that, we will staff accordingly. So Mike and I have already sat down, we've already talked, Mike Roberts, I'm sorry, who's our security director. We have already planned out all of our additional coverage starting in May. And we also have a private security company called PSC, who we brought in last year during the summer, and we utilize them to augment all of our patrols. And so then, based on day of the week, we start staffing up. So we will ramp up where on Fridays and Saturdays, where it's the busiest times, you'll see the most foot patrols, cruisers on the property.
Adding more seating in, or are there more places for people just to sit with their drinks within the boundaries?
Not yet, but that's something we're discussing as to, you know, but primarily if you come out for like a show on a Friday or Saturday, you know, you can just sit in the lawn and relax and enjoy a beverage.
I think that you can't really start till June because Steve can explain.
There's certain technical requirements in terms of getting up and running. Technically, under the statute, the mayor is the one who submits the application to the council. I'm envisioning that Anna, as the mayor's assistant, will hand it to Anna as the clerk of council. And we should probably videotape that. And then there has to be a public hearing advertised for it, which has to be at least 30 days out. So we are shooting to have the ordinance in both of Anna's hands by Monday, and then by Thursday, getting it advertised, so we'll be on an agenda in June to establish that. The other thing that council should be aware of is that based on the size of the municipality, you can designate 3 Doras. I can't imagine where the other ones might be.
Our side of our village is entitled to 3 of these?
Yes.
That's so
To
crazy.
do somebody's house? I don't know.
Doing it at Ryan's house.
Got a nice cul-de-sac.
I was gonna say, it'd be a great cul-de-sac, that would be.
Your addition, you know?
The likes of Orange.
Decision-making, it's obviously opportunity cost. If you grant one here, maybe Brian's house doesn't get one. I don't know how it goes.
My
So-
wife will be.
No, I totally appreciate it. And yes, I mean, timing of this, we know that we're probably not gonna be able to put this in play until July, which is fine. As we've discussed internally, it's not bad to kind of put our toes into the water a little bit later in the season, once we have things up and running for the summer months at Pinecrest. So this, whether we do the DORA program or not, our additional layers of security will go into play the week before Memorial Day. That's just how we staff for the summer.
Still gonna have safety down rules, right?
Yes, we are. And that is not going to change.
I've heard I've only heard good things about it.
You know, guys, I've been in this business, oh my goodness, 34, 35 years. 10 different properties. Sorry?
Known you for most.
I think we have, as I've gone from property to property. As I think it was a dramatic thing to do, but it was necessary. And the positive comments that we received from customers, from our retailers, from everybody doing business at Pinecrest, the hotel guests, residents, was just overwhelmingly positive. And the way Pinecrest is designed, we can put in play that restricted access very easily just because of the north and south roundabouts. And yes, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to start at 4 o'clock. So then any of our shows for music-wise performances on Fridays and Saturdays, they start at 4 and they end at 7. That's all for a reason. Same thing with Dora. If you look at the hours of operations, it's going to start at 4 o'clock. Everything is going to tie out certain time, you know, perfectly there so that we have the customers on site that we want at that time who can sit, relax, and enjoy Pinecrest the way it was intended.
One other point you should be aware of, the statute puts the obligation on you every 5 years to review it. So if in 5 years it's worked well, you renew it. If in 5 years there have been problems, you have the authority to stop it. And you could pass an ordinance at any time with proper notice to stop it if there were problems, which we don't anticipate there will be.
So once this is passed, basically, they don't have to come back, they can do it at any time in the next 5 years?
No,
No?
in 5 years, it would
It's like
be
the
up for renewal.
agricultural district has to be renewed.
Right.
so-
Right, but I'm saying, like, once it's set, they don't have to come back next year?
Exactly right.
Okay,
Exactly
I'm
right.
just
And-
confirming.
and
yeah.
the nice thing is it'll be on the same 5-year cycle as the agricultural district, so there you go.
How convenient.
And it's something that's elective, that if we decided to stop it on our own, we can. Or
Absolutely.
if we want to modify hours at any time, we can. If we've got an event, say, we decide to do something and we want to have an alcohol sponsor there or something like that, we can augment our rules and what we're doing within the DORA legislation, I believe, so.
Question. So this would be in place year-round, correct? So even
It would be.
if someone's there holiday shopping in December, they can take advantage of it.
Yes.
And I know that Legacy and Van Aken have been approved for DORAs. I don't know if, do you know if theirs are in place?
I do not know, Brent.
I was gonna just,
Their signage is up.
okay, and I was.
I think they are.
I'm sorry?
I think.
I think so.
It
I
is.
think Van Aken is. 'Cause
Do we know if they've had any problems or issues, or?
heard of anything. Mike Roberts and I, we talk regularly about this, and I know he paid a visit to Van Aken. So he said everything seemed to be functioning properly, no issues, brought back, sample cups so that we could duplicate it. There's no reason to.
Everyone hangs out in the streets drinking.
And I think I get it, it makes a lot of sense. I think if it helps our dwell time, and if it enhances the customer experience and benefits our retailers, then yeah, it makes a lot of sense to do it. That's exactly it.
Have you had any opposition or resistance to this from anyone at Pinecrest? or-
We've had, as I said, we introduced this to our venues that sell alcohol. We had one that said, we just don't want to participate in it. And everybody else was 2 thumbs up.
Was there a reason? Just want to make sure people are gonna be in there and staying in there. Sorry, just curious about the reason for the objection, but
They didn't give a lot of detail on their objection, and I think it was just, again, you're going to have to, as a restaurateur, manage this a little bit, and that's going to take some responsibility. And I think that at this point in time, they just elected we don't want to do that. They can always opt in. It's no different than just changing signs and handing them cups, because we will get into the cup business because we have to purchase all the cups, we have to provide the cups to all the venues, and we have to keep them well stocked.
Were they objecting to it happening at all, or just their part in it? They just didn't want to be a part of it?
A little bit of happening at all, but again, I think it's how they view their business and just, I think how they manage it and impact. Sorry? This is true. So I think out of the 14 venues, if we have one that says we don't want to participate, I think that's pretty good.
pretty good hit rate.
I really do.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? No? Okay.
You.
Find you.
You. Let me know my next steps. I need to provide some files and stuff.
Push this on you, then you pushed it on us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One that wants it, because I'm filing the petition,
That's right.
There you go.
I'm like, we got to do this.
Wondered.
Okay. Are there any audience comments related to agenda items only? I see no audience. Old business of pending legislation and motions. Ordinance 2023-5, an ordinance amending section 901.09 of the codified ordinances of Orange Village to clarify the waiver process for single residential utility connections and to enact a new subsection B to authorize the waiver of the permit process for telecommunications service connections and declaring an emergency. This is on for second reading? Yep. That's it. We're done? That was our second reading? Okay. Ordinance 2023-6, an ordinance approving the application of Joseph A. Dubiak for placement of land in an agricultural district, first reading, and there will be a public hearing on May 10th, 2023 at 7:45. All right.
This is.
Sure. This is an action
this.
that is initiated by the owner of the property who has sufficient revenues as defined by the state of Ohio. I think it's $2,500 a year from agricultural production on their property. And Mr. Dubiak has flowers. He started this, 2003 would have been the first time he did this. You get placed in the agricultural district. It protects you a little bit from civil suits for nuisance animals or something like that. But
That protects you from
more
assessment.
significantly, if there were to ever to be a sewer to go in and assessed to properties, he would be, that property, which is in the agricultural district under state law, would be exempt from the assessment for the period of time that's in the district. After it comes out of the district, they would pay, the property owner would pay at that time.
So but they wouldn't pay through a 20-year assessment.
I don't know the answer to that. They're just exempt from the assessment.
Does this also mean that his property value is assessed as an
It is a different statute and a different process than CAUV, which is the agricultural assessment. They are unrelated to each other.
But here's the bottom line.
There's no basis to say no.
This is the state code that's controlling this, and we have no basis to say no, so we just say yes.
If the property is sold, does it maintain its agricultural standing?
It's not used as one.
It will retain the standing for the 5-year period, after which the process would have to start again.
You don't think if he sells it in the first year of the 5-year, in the first year, that we could like petition for the final 4 years?
There isn't a process for that.
No?
I was just gonna ask if he sells it after 1 year of this new renewal, can anything be changed? What if somebody came in and wanted,
Process under the law for that.
okay, so if somebody came in and said, I wanna build houses here or something, can that be, could they,
They voluntarily pay us for it.
okay.
Couldn't they voluntarily pay us for the sanitary sewer connection?
Okay.
Issues going on here. He's asking if,
Keep up.
yeah. Asking if they,
If they sold the property after a year into this renewal of the agricultural district classification, if they sold it, could the buyer then say, I want to do some big construction here, I want to build townhomes or something?
obviously subject to zoning requirements.
Right, right. But like, that 5-year thing could be broken if the property transferred or something.
Well, let me ask you this, it's broken, it just means that they could pay us the sanitary sewer fee.
And that's the only thing they're being exempted from, right? The sanitary sewer connection fee. Yeah.
Because they got the water line assessment before they got it.
Okay. Interesting.
Next week would be the earliest opportunity to adopt it. And there is a time limit on this. We're supposed to adopt it. We're in the window next week, so my recommendation is to suspend the rules and adopt it next week.
Sounds good.
Are any audience comments related to matters which advance the good of the village? No audience comments. Mayor?
Next week, we're going to have a couple of ordinances for the fire department to fine-tune some of the staffing rules that they are operating under, to adjust them a bit to current needs. Next week also, you will be asked to confirm Mark Majeski as our new village planner. He will be our new Dave Hart, and he's already been aggressively working on certain projects that we've had in the pipelines, and couldn't be more thrilled, so I hope you will approve that arrangement.
Already spending our money with them. Said I'm already spending money with them. I'm already spending money with them.
Already using the hours, the ticker's running. Our new municipal judge in Bedford Court is Papa.
Yeah.
Ever talk to him? I talked to him, yeah. Okay, you never let me know.
He told me exactly what
What I told you? Okay, so he called me today, actually. He did win, and the reason it's interesting to us in Orange Village is because our prosecutor was the brother of the judge who Nick Papa is replacing. And so I don't know if it's going to change anything for the police department, but we can now go to both judges. So I don't know if that will change anything, but it's just different than what it's been for a long time.
Both judges.
There's 2 judges at Bedford Court. One is Michelle Paris, and the other one has been Brian Melling. Brian Melling is our prosecutor's brother, so he can't represent us in front of his brother.
But he won't take office until January of next year.
Well, it's been this long, we can wait till then to change. So that's an interesting thing. Computer Flags Household Hazardous Waste Collection is this Friday. Newsletter has gone to print, and in the next newsletter, you will see about the community-wide garage sale, which is June 24th and 25th. We are having a music at the amphitheater on Tuesday, June 27th, sponsored by the Chagrin Valley Chamber of Commerce. And again, on Saturday, July 22nd, is our party in the park. So I imagine over the next month or two, some of these projects that are brewing under the surface are going to start being publicly discussed, and we'll catch you all up to that next month.
Excellent. Okay. I was going to say, we are lucky to live in Cuyahoga County. There are a number of programs within the county that exist to help small businesses, and one that I learned about this past week I wanted to share. The goal of the program, it is called Skill Up 2.0. The goal of the program is to increase the skill level of employees to help them be better at their jobs, and to increase their wages. Therefore, this is done with 4 incentives. One is if the employer sends the employee to any kind of training, the county will pay for 50% of that training program. The second is when the employee comes back from training and is then eligible for a raise, for every $1 per hour of wage increase, the county is paying the employer $500.
Every dollar?
For every $1 per hour.
500?
Yeah, so if you raise them $2 an hour, they get $1,000.
Why won't you just raise
Well, it's people who go through this specific program.
Every hour.
It's specific to this program, but yeah. Yeah, it's very generous. The third is that if they receive a credential from this program, during their training, then another $500 bonus is given. It's given to the employer, but $250 of it, half of it goes to the employee as a bonus. And then the fourth part of the program is you can be reimbursed up to $100 for any incidentals, which could be anything from tutors to parking fees. So just thought it's a really cool program. I hope we can put a link on the website for any small business owners that might want to take advantage. Municipalities can take advantage also. I just don't know that we have any place for it. I did talk to Chief Wilson, but they have enough other programs that this doesn't fit their needs right now. Okay, did I speak too fast?
Do you have to qualify? Is there a qualification?
Too much of ours qualifications, so.
I'll ask later.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Okay. Mr. Silver?
A couple quick things. So I've seen some stories in the news lately about how electrical rates are supposed to spike this summer, but it won't impact communities that are part of NOPEC, and that would be us, right?
We are part of NOPEC, yes.
So it shouldn't be too big of a deal for us. I know the gas station at the corner of Brainerd and Miles got knocked down probably in early March, and it's been sitting there, a big pile of dirt and a big hole.
It's been sitting there because we shouldn't have had it taken down when we did, because unfortunately, the site plan had not been fully approved by Brian Mader. So we shut the job down until the civil engineering gets completed.
When will that be done? Do you know?
I know they wanted it as soon as possible. I don't know Bob Buck, I couldn't know. We could ask him. I could ask him.
I was in here yesterday morning to vote. People that work, are they volunteers?
They get paid. Yeah. 109 people came in all day yesterday.
Here at 7:30 in the morning. I was the only voter in here. I was in and out in a minute. I counted 14 poll workers in here.
Yeah. I talked to them about it.
That's overkill.
Wait till you see what happens in August if they have that election.
Those are
But
volunteers.
through a training too, and they get paid for the training as well. Ryan did it a year or two ago.
Okay, 14 people for an election like this.
Yeah,
Overkill to me, but.
we'll go run the county board of elections.
To a certain level.
Out in less than a minute, probably, and most people are sitting there doing nothing,
All day, that was all day.
I'm sure. How many people? 100?
109, I think, was the total.
Mrs.
People voted absentee.
Mrs. Perry?
I will not be at the next meeting, and, maybe Mary, can you, run the finance meeting?
I haven't talked to Dana because she has a personal medical issue, not in her family, huh?
I'll talk to you after about that.
Yeah, so I don't know, maybe we'll skip the meeting next week, I don't know.
Okay. I will be out of town, so we will all carry on.
If it's just routine, just the monthly stuff, and if she's been able to get it done, we'll run it, yeah.
She also said that we were not planning on talking about the future addition to this building.
Nothing to talk about till these guys finish, yeah.
No,
Oh.
nothing to talk about.
That's further down the line this summer, and you'll all get notice when we want to talk about that. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Bilski?
Nothing this evening, but, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Klein?
Planning Commission met last evening. We had the approval of 2 additions, one of which was for our council president, and it was very well done. Looking forward to seeing it completed. There were a couple other items on the agenda. One included a request for a variance, which subsequently was discussed and determined that there was a way to solve the problem without a variance, and so that was withdrawn. And I think it was withdrawn from our agenda as well, as it was to be on that discussion. And I have nothing further.
Thank you. Mrs. Vincent?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. As I'm sure you all know, it's been a relatively quiet few weeks at the Orange Schools, so, I don't really have much to report, right? So a few of the highlights. Katie Phillips resigned as the high school principal due to personal reasons since we last met. The former high school principal and current HR director, Dr. Paul Lucas, is stepping in and working with the 2 assistant principals through the end of the school year and until a replacement is named. A statement was released to families and the extended community about the situation involving the bullet that was found in the Commons yesterday, noting, quote, "The safety of our students and staff is of the utmost importance." The superintendent informed the community about the modified lockdown, the situation, and commended local law enforcement for their alertness and quick and effective response. Further comment was also issued by the Pepper Pike Police with regard to the student and his being taken into custody. And I also personally would like to thank law enforcement officials involved for their rapid and very thorough response. A statement also was released by the superintendent regarding an allegation involving the Elyria Catholic High School lacrosse team and our boys lacrosse team being subjected to anti-Semitic slurs while playing there. The statement went on to remind all that this type of alleged behavior will not be tolerated and that an active investigation is continuing. And on that note, I just want to say that I'm proud to live in a community and work for a school district that so strongly condemn any type of anti-Semitic behavior. On a much happier note, Senior Project is underway with our seniors who are engaged in a multitude of wonderful passion and career experiences. Our robotics team has been invited to states and will compete this weekend. We have many Orange Village students that are on that team, so congratulations to all of them. And also, our Orange Schools bus drivers rocked the regional rodeo and will compete for state titles this weekend. And also great news, our pit orchestra from the spring show has been nominated for a Playhouse Square Dazzle Award for the 3rd year in a row, along with a sophomore who was selected as a musical apprentice and will play with the professional orchestra at the event in May, at the end of May. The Dazzle Awards, it's the Playhouse Square, yeah. There are 32 schools that compete for these awards, and we're thrilled that our orchestra was nominated once again. The next BOE meeting is on Monday and is scheduled to be held in the auditorium as part of a celebration of students and staff that has happened for the past couple of years. I also received a note from our current PTA president, Stephanie Russo, who asked me to thank our Orange Village first responders. She had been in a horrible bike accident, and just spoke of the kindness and the helpfulness and the patience of the EMTs in Orange Village, who were even kind enough to wait to make sure that her bike was safely brought back to her when her son was a little bit delayed picking it up. And she wanted to send her kudos to all involved, so I wanted to share that. And finally, I want to note that neither Scott Lewis nor I were able to be at the Planning and Zoning meeting last night because we were involved in the Notoriety Singers Spring Concert, although it felt more like a winter concert. It was an amazing sold-out show, and we gave a huge shout-out to Orange Village for allowing the group to rehearse here at our beautiful Village Hall, and also the Notoriety Singers are looking forward to singing at the Party in the Park in July. May the 4th be with you tomorrow, and wishing all a happy Cinco de Mayo on Friday.
So adjourn this special council meeting of May 3rd, 2023. Thank you.